can speak English. You are well versed of the geopolitical. So I guess it's partly it's your responsibility as well to make sure that you can contribute back to society. From the, I have friends, especially those that graduated from our schools. Even though, because our school is not that big, I mean, as you know, I mean, it's quite hard for non-government organizations to have a school. But then, for the students who attended the school, that after they finish schooling, they will teach their siblings who can't afford to go to the school. So that is one. I mean, those who have, they have their own initiative, they teach their siblings, I have friends, especially those, so maybe it's small, but then that's what Imam Bishop will say, because our school is not that big, they attend to see on so that the students can try your best to teach their siblings who can't afford quite a huge number of people are the right school, but then we can within the community to teach the community that are staying here. India's more community. We hope that then more people become educated and they can share this knowledge.
Ms. Shu, since this is a digital advocacy, and you mentioned like a campaign that you're doing, a project on YouTube. So maybe since the participants are actually going to come up with, social media campaign afterwards, promoting different issues that, concern them. Can you please elaborate on
Okay, so previously what we did was we came up with this workshop.
Can you please elaborate
So what we did with 5 minutes or less previous on that particular issue itself. So what the YouTubers did was there were a lot of different what we did was depending on the kind of so the YouTube videos that we released on the particular issue itself. So what the YouTubers did was there were a lot of different what we did was depending on the way that they created the content was really based on the whole target market that you are targeting. So for example, if you're targeting the youth, you need to know about what they like and what they enjoy. So in this lecture, we came up with funny stories, came up with target drama stories. We came up with different elements that can interest the youth itself. So this particular YouTuber, what he did was he made like a really funny video where he got outside of the KL and started stories. He came up with about what different elements. So you have funny answers like human trafficking is where everybody go in the same place and it's crowded. So those kind of things actually like creates a sense of humor. So people would actually want to watch. So your content interest create that story that you came up with about what different elements workshop is very important in the sense that you really need to know like who are the audiences that will be watching your campaign, who are the audiences that you are targeting at that moment. And it's a sense of humor, so people will actually want to watch. So you really need to know like who are the audiences that will be watching your campaign, who are the audiences that you are targeting at that moment that the YouTubers did. And every time when we create like an online campaign, we always that follows up with that video itself. So people would know what happens after you watch that video or what happens after you share the Facebook page or like that Facebook page. So that is something that you need to always consider about the call to action plan as to what happens next.
Thank you very much. I think you've mentioned very, very important elements for our participants to take note of, especially when doing online campaigns. So in particular, the content, should be very, very effective. And the target audience, you must know the target audience. Like if you're targeting the youth, if you're targeting the government, the NGO, civil society, you have to know which stakeholder you are targeting in terms of the campaign you're going to do. And finally, the call to action is very, very important, emphasized by Ms. Su. So you're not just informing them this is our issue, but more importantly, you're asking them to take action. And that's actually what we will do also as young people. And, okay, so also I think I would like to also cite as an example, our project right now. The digital ASEAN advocacy is actually funded through crowdsourcing. You know that? We just gathered funds online. We just posted, hey, we have a campaign on this. And I think we're able to like gather $500 US. And these are donations from different countries. And for the rest, like local partners provided the venue, and then we chip in on food, pitch in on food, etc. So I think there's really power in using social media, in using digital advocacy. And I mean, just come to think of it, the workshop that you're actually attending right now is a product of digital advocacy campaign. So that's a very, very good example that you actually discussed. Now let's go, Mr. Joey de la Cruz. Can you discuss the role of ASEAN youth in, you know,
the youth of ASEAN should be the precursor in order for us to create this so-called community. More than anything else, ASEAN is not about governance, it's about the people. So more than anything else, we should look upon ourselves as one community that's been helping out each other. And as young people, we can work out things together in order for us to advocate for in very important issues and create a level of solidarity among each other and share the concerns of each other and help each other out in order for us to actually push forward a better society and a better community that we would like to have. One thing that what makes ASEAN stronger is about the aspect of solidarity and the aspect of not just familiarity, but a sense of community. If we ourselves cannot create that sense of identity as a collective, it will have certain implications and problems in terms of how do we solve social, cultural, and economic issues. And given this situation, we have to voice out these issues and concerns through creative means, as my friend Susher said, and also should have a sharp mind. And we have to put these perspectives into light in a way that we gather our experiences, our personal experiences, and connect them to the experiences of other people.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Agli mentioned a while ago the importance of not losing our identity. And since they're migrants, how do you think can they come up with a balance of not losing their identity at the same time assimilating in the community or the context that they're in with right now?
One thing for sure, the pressure will be definitely high when you're living in a community that's majority is not your own people. And there will be a strong force from your left and your right, front and back, for you to assimilate and change slowly without you knowing to their identity. I've met with so different, and then of course it's good for you to being able to communicate with others. But to a certain extent, you have to value the identity that you have. Right? Sometimes it's okay for you to understand other languages, to really understand other culture and able to live with that culture. But at the same time, this will be a huge loss if you thought that being Rohingya is being less ASEAN or being less human or anything. Because I've saw this kind of changes. I don't have the ability to understand or to actually sorry. I'm not sure how now the number of those who are being able to do that anymore. For you to have the same story during those days, the heroism during you fought against Japanese, against the British at that time for independence, for your country, these the Rohingyas are really directly participating in that. I just got back from Jakarta, and one thing that is really beautiful is that because they have this, the level of their love towards their culture is really, really romantic. That's the word. I mean, we can really cry because looking at the accent on how they understand the culture and how they really grasp the culture and really interested to let others know of their culture. So as of now, I mean, of course, because I'm not sure because I'm not living in a Rohingya community in Malaysia, but then of course I visited a few times. So when I go to Cahaya Surya, having their biryani, I would imagine if this would be the best way how you can value the culture and others know of the beautiful part of your culture. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Going back to Ms. Su, and Joey also, can we ask you what do you think is the role of civil society in the Rohingya community and how to help them out more engaged?
The role of civil society in capacitating and uplifting the lives of the Rohingya is very important in the way that one thing that civil society has is that it doesn't have in the government aspect is that they are more flexible in terms of aspects of giving out services and support. Second, the people who are working on the civil society has also they also have networks nationally and globally in the sense that they can provide these support and services through either crowdfunding, crowdsourcing, or even through grants. And in that way, civil society also can also help the Rohingya to actually create a mechanism, an innovative mechanism for their communities in order to uplift their lives.
I entirely agree with what Joey has said, but also I think that the civil society needs to think of this whole issue altogether as a responsibility of their own. They need to take up the responsibility and recognize this problem as a problem of their own as well, because I think the kind of attitude that we are seeing at the moment is that, you know, this is your problem and I'm not gonna do anything about it because, you know, you're in my country or whatever it is, right? So, and also we cannot blame the government entirely. Obviously, they have a whole chunk of things that they need to pick up, but also the civil society needs to think that this is not only the responsibility that comes from the government, but also for themselves.
Mr. Adi, do you also want to add on what do you think are the roles of government, civil society, and maybe industry?
It could really be an interesting subject. I mean, but before we go further, I mean, I realized that whatever I said is basically on me. It's not on the place I hold right now. But the role of civil society is that empowerment is really important. I mean, without you knowing on how you can express your ways or push your ways to making the difference would be hard. Because myself, for being last time I'm just a normal kid who play basketball and football, don't care anything about the world, just myself. But then with the existence of NGO that give you a sense of purpose and also give you the chance to understand ways on how you can accomplish that purpose. So the civil society organization, whether it's religious organization or non-religious organization, the main idea is that, of course, to make others feel that you are part of it, part of the community. And the beauty about ASEAN, we have this big agenda of ASEAN community, and then CS2 really need to make sure that we are really connected to each other. There shouldn't be any wars between Malaysians, Malay, Chinese, Indian, Rohingyas, even the mock. Even, you know, they should, because the ignorance that will create these kind of wars. And what civil society need to do is to, of course, we have a good intent and good ways how we can make a change. And I guess this is the role of civil society and organization as a government as well. You need to really see to a civil society organization. I've met with so many countries, embassies, Australian government, the US government. They are really cherishing the civil society organization on the ground, which helps both of them, not just government, but also civil society to really becoming a real full force organization rather than just an organization with empty souls.
Okay, so okay. Before we ask the last question, do you have any questions from the participants? Okay. You have a question? Okay.
Oh, the name of the book.
Okay. Okay, so the name of the book is?
You can share on.
Okay. Are there any other questions or clarifications?
So this when I talk about culture, I talk about culture earlier. It's interesting. I mean, if you follow this person, so he posted every time he posted during the time of Ramadan. He showing kind of what they do. They are good in poetry. They are good in nasheed, and this is the kind of culture that we would like to see in Malaysia as well. So this is part of thing that maybe you can do, as in to make sure that your community really part of it, and then you are really continuing whatever your ancestors have been doing, and this is really important. No? I mean, this is there in Zarakan. Not your country, okay. And then, but it's okay, and that's good. This is the kind of communication we need to know, because if you have this kind of misunderstanding, and then if you have, you have all these kind of videos that can share, then you need to really share, especially with your social media, so for us to really understand your culture, your beauty of it.
Okay. So, last question for our panel speakers. What would be your advice to our youth participants on how to engage communities, how to come up with projects and programs for their communities, and how to address their concerns? So maybe if you can give them advice on how to engage, how to come up with projects, and how to create an impact in their communities.
My advice regarding creating impact in communities and engaging the whole community in meaningful engagement is through developing mechanisms based on your culture, but also based on innovations as well. In order for people to think about your cause interesting, you have to use the uniqueness of one's culture and the innovations and the creativity of the mind. And if you can combine these two, you can develop strategies of engagement and capabilities of engaging not just your peers, but also different generations as well within your community. For example, if you want to engage your older generation, it's better for you to understand the older culture and the norms then. But if you want to engage the younger generation, you have to adapt into the so-called what's the term in English? Okay, I forgot the term in English, but the actual pop aspect, the popular aspects within your community. So if you will have that kind of combination, this will be very, very helpful in order for you to reach out in different audiences.
My advice is just to follow what you're interested in and what your passion is about. So whether it is going to be arts, music, cooking, or whatever it is, do it in conjunction of that, because you can think of much more creative ways for you to incorporate this particular issue with your passion itself, because more than likely you will be doing this for a long time, and not for a long time, but for most of your time, and so it is important for you to enjoy what you're doing. So having to incorporate your passion with this particular issue itself, I think, is very important.
And of course, remain focused. So I guess that helps me in certain ways as well. So know what you want to get, and then focus on the goals, and try and error. There's no one way to do things, to accomplish things. There are so many doors that's opening for you, and you just need to knock every door to make sure that which one works. And then with this kind of focus will help you to not exhausting your energy, your ideas to something else, but rather on the main agenda what you're trying to get. And then be realistic to a certain extent, but also idealistic. There's nothing wrong with you being idealistic. No one can say that your idea is too big for us to accomplish. If you think that you want to be somebody to be the president, then go aim for it and make a change and try to go to the aim. Even though we might not be able to achieve it, but you will be opening the doors for others to achieve it. Like during the Sultan Ahmad Al-Fatih, Sultan Muhammad Al-Fatih, as you know him, the stories of opening the door, opening the Constantinople is since the time of Prophet Muhammad for hundreds of years. But then there's this guy Ayyub Al-Ansari that led the army and he died. Only after a few hundred years later, then only that this dream will be realized by some others. So you might not be the one who achieved these ideas or this dream, but you have to be the person who can let others feel or achieve that dream. So I guess remain focused and then we'll keep in touch, keep connecting to others and we'll try to make a change.
Okay, thank you very much for all the advice that you gave our participants right now. So essentially the goal of this, the bootcamp is to train you and to empower you and eventually to connect you to different organizations and to connect you with your peers for future engagements and campaigns. And what they mentioned like in the last part in terms of the advice that they've given you, actually very, very important and you have to take note of them. And it's actually a good transition to our next session, which is about the opportunities or the success stories of migrants in Malaysia. So like, the advice that they've given you, and we will have live cases later on of successful stories of migrants in Malaysia. And hopefully that could translate to, encouraging you more on, coming up with projects and, building yourself up and building your community. So again, let's give them a warm round of applause and thank you very much for the time and the effort to come here.
Hi everyone. Okay. Thank you to our speakers for the insightful discussion as well as to our moderator. I would just like to thank again our sponsors because this event will not be possible without our local partners, the International Youth Centre, Pusat Belia Antarabangsa, Humanity Heroes, Dakwah Bookstore Malaysia, and also a big thank you to the institutional support of the Malaysian Youth Parliament and National Youth Commission of the Philippines and our media partners Durian ASEAN Radio, Rohingya Vision TV, Zilza Life Magazine, Committee for ASEAN Youth Cooperation Volunteers, International Youth Network and International Human Rights Commission. We would also like to acknowledge the presence of our observers who will be at the back to explore future partnerships. I would just like to share with you this info. As we mentioned, this project became a reality because it is a digital advocacy. We advertise crowdfunding so that anyone can donate and help us to create this program so that you can have the opportunity to learn about digital advocacy. So for your information, the donation that we received were $1,500 from United States to the Philippines so that we can use this money for you to use in your own social community project. So, and therefore, that is why we would like to have your involvement to be more active towards the speakers if you have any questions, because this is
for your own good, and they are here to help all of you. So don't be shy to ask any questions. There's no right questions. Just don't be afraid. Just go ahead. And if you if you have any questions to ask them personally later, it's also acceptable, not just during the question and answer session. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so this is one of the slots that I've been waiting for, whereby we invited successful personalities from the Rohingya community itself to share their success stories of migrants in Malaysia. We have two notable speakers today, and we are also delighted to have Ms. Arlene Tan from Durian ASEAN Radio as our host, as our special host for this session. First, I would like to call upon Mr. Farid Ahmad Hussein, owner of Dakwah Bookstore Malaysia. Let's give him a round of applause, please. So we will have 30-minute session for each speakers, and followed by a 10-minute question and answer session. So thank you.